So
let's move on to this next one.
5
here.
things to know about DOD's new policy on military service by transgender
Is it on the
persons with gender dysphoria. Is it there? I didn't hit the button. I apologize. There we go.
All right.
We're there, right? Yeah.
Okay.
They know this is a mental disease. They know this is a mental disorder. The Defense Department has released a new policy regarding service by individuals with gender dysphoria. The policy was developed by military and civilian experts on combat readiness.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hang on.
Hanging on.
Military and civilian experts on frontline combat. Are these guys former Rangers? Are they former grunts or armor guys who deployed? When you say expert, that's somebody who's an expert in my eyes. Is the motherfucker who shows up at the front, does his fucking job, makes it back, and guess what? He is an expert. If you come out of college and you have the title, get the hell out of here. Pound some sand.
I learned early on, there's one expert that I will acknowledge.
The guy, been there, done that guy.
No. I shot expert on the range, Sergeant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I shot expert. I got 33. You're wrong. This policy addresses those who want to serve in the military, those who are already serving in the military. Military service by dollar store Frankensteins and persons with gender dysphoria. They literally calling it a mental problem.
Yes.
Service members with no diagnosis or history pre-2016 generally disqualified. Well, yes. 2016 may serve as biological sex. 2018 may serve as biological sex. What are we getting at here?
It's basically mission creep. They started the mission creep in 2012, and then it slowly creeped up to the point where, listen, I'm gonna be honest here.
Do it.
If I get reactivated, sent back to Big Army to go play silly games, I will not take orders from a trans officer.
I know how to fail a PT test
or NCO.
It's really that
I will not do it.
Yeah,
and I know how to play the game.
Yes,
badly.
Exactly. Yes,
meaning I could probably out black belt administrative violence most of the people other than JAG officers. I mean, because I did 33 years. Let's be honest. I have the knowledge set equivalent to a command sergeant major.
I only did 11, but I co-authored, I suppose, 2 failure to adapts.
Yes.
And imagine you've probably done a couple.
I have done about 21 packets of failure to adapt for either height and weight, PT, or other nefarious reasons. That was exceedingly rare. I think I did one of those nefarious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They're really fucked up. They should go to prison. And we got rid of them before they went to prison.
We had a guy at the school in San Angelo, Texas, that we had a health and welfare one night. Dude had half a key of Coke in his room.
Yeah, that's exceedingly stupid right there.
Needless to say, he was.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing about the failure to adapt packets.
Yeah.
All of the ones I did on the females, none of them got discharged. All of the ones I did for the male soldiers, every single one was discharged within 90 to 120 days.
Is that a pattern?
Yes.
I'm not certain. That feels like a pattern to me.
That was a pattern that was going on that was in 2009 through 2013 at the 414. And then I had a couple at the 403rd. I'm going to be honest, the female soldiers at the 403rd were, in my opinion, much better than the ones at the 414. We had a couple that were, one was, I think we had one that was a cop, one that was a ambulance driver. They were squared away. I never had any problem with them.
I have to read these because I think I'm going to laugh a lot.
Okay.
This is the Department of Defense's definitions for the following items. Gender dysphoria. A marked incongruence between one's experienced or expressed gender and assigned gender. associated with clinically significant distress and impairment of functioning. That sounds to me like a mental illness.
All right. So let's go back to that word assigned.
Assigned gender when
All
you're
right.
born.
Now,
They look between your legs.
yes. It's not an assignment. It is a fact. You're either an innie or you're an outie. Very few people have both.
It's exceedingly rare.
Exceedingly
It's
rare.
exceedingly rare, which brings us to our next item, biological sex. A person's biological status is a male or female based on chromosomes, gonads, hormones, and genitals.
In all reality, it's based off your DNA because your DNA plans all the rest of that shit.
All the rest of that shit. Exactly.
If the DNA says you're a dude, you're coming here with a programmed on your listen, when you ride that meat suit on the snot pocket into this world, you're given one or two assignments, male or female. That is it. If you're a male, you're coming out with, an Audi. You got two testicles that may or may not have dropped yet, and you're going to have to deal with the testosterone, the rage, and all the other stuff when you get older, and the fact that the entire world doesn't like you, and you're completely
You come out with the
expendable.
slot C, you get the hormones and the teenage girl, whatever that is.
Yeah, well, yeah, when you come out as a female, you're born with a bitch switch between your shoulder blades.
Switch between your shoulder blades.
That could get activated at an end cap while you're at target. I've seen it happen on one of mine, so I totally understand.
The bitch switch.
The bitch switch.
Not heard of the bitch switch before. Yep. I like that. Exempt persons. Service members who joined the military in their preferred gender or who were diagnosed with gender dysphoria before the 2018 policy took effect are exempt. In other words, if you're a dollar store Frankenstein's monster or you just think you look cute in that dress, you don't have to be deployed.
Yep.
That's all that is.
Yep.
Now, for those of you familiar with the TV show and movie MASH, there was a cross-dresser in that, and his name was Klinger, and he routinely tried to get out of the Army by wearing a dress because all he wanted to do was go home to Cleveland and watch his favorite baseball team.
Correct.
That's it. That's all Klinger wanted. Now we have people that are demanding you see them as a woman or a man.
Or else.
In uniform, or else, or they will UCMJ you.
Yeah, and listen, if you're in the service now and you have less than 10 years, or say less than 12 years.
Toledo, sorry about that. Toledo.
Yeah. If you have less than 12 years, I really don't see a future for you in the military. And I hate to break the news to you. More than likely, when you're going to have so many toxic, insane people in charge of you, even if you decide to stay, you're probably not going to make it to 20 anyway.
Yeah.
Most likely. 20 is the magic number, especially if you came in before the whole 401k debacle. If you're a new soldier and you have the 401k bullshit, it's not even worth staying. It is not worth the headaches. I'm telling you right now, because
when did they do that?
They were starting to phase it in like 2015, 16-ish.
I would have just made the cut. If I had stayed my whole time, I would have retired in January of 15.
Well, see, they approached me and they're like, well, you can convert to the new system. I'm like, nope.
You can blow me.
I said, I'm going to stick with the original one I got when I first enlisted in 1986. I don't want your 401k bullshit because let's face it, you make more money at McDonald's than you will as an enlisted soldier. So you're not going to be able to contribute anything to this 401k for the retirement that you think you deserve. And
not until you make E7.
Yeah. And then you're only in E7 for maybe 2 to 4 years before you run out of time and you're out of the service.
Yeah.
Unless you get promoted to 8 and 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Total waste of time.
And let's just say, you get your 401k, you retire, you're doing your thing, and some kid rides their scooter in front of your car, you clip them, you get sued for a couple $1 million. Your 401k is gone. They can take that shit away.
Yes.
So guess what? It is not worth staying in if you're under the 401k system, especially when you have Looney Tunes pulling the strings. You got Looney Tunes running the government. You got no overhead, no oversight. Nobody like me is going to be left to run top cover for you and protect you in the lower enlisted ranks. You're going to be a slave. They will work you to death, march you to your die, and then send you into the meat grinder if it comes to that. And they won't miss a lick of sleep. It's literally similar to what they're doing in Russia right now in the Ukraine. They're marching all of those idiots, forward to probe, basically die by fire.
Yeah.
That'll be you. This is just my opinion, okay? But you got to understand, I did this for 33 years. I can see the patterns. If your chain of command doesn't give a shit about you now in peacetime, what do you think is going to happen to you when the meat grinder turns on? You are done.
And by the way, those guys who bum rushed the airmen in the cell in that video that we watched, if those are NCOs and those are the guys that are supposed to be taking the squads into combat when that happens, should that happen, that personality type are you going to be the first ones to cut and run and leave you there to get
correct
smoked.
Correct. And listen,
those are cowards.
If I was that dude that they bum rush like that,
yeah,
all of those guys would be in for a rough time.
Yeah.
I would not tolerate that well.
Anybody who will do that to one of their own just because I'm following orders.
It would have been a one thing if he was standing there like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
He was just sitting there.
Yeah.
There's no need for that. You just walk in. All right, give me your hands. We're going to cuff you. And if he decides to get stupid, then you bring in one or two guys. You don't need 6 dudes to bum rush you like that. That's just bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this list from DOD of 5 talking points here, we'll just go through the points real fast. The new DOD policy doesn't ban transgender individuals from service. We know that. It's stupid.
Yes.
It should ban transgender people from service for all the obvious reasons. Transgender service members may continue to serve. They shouldn't.
Correct.
Period. The new policy is focused on enhancing readiness and comes after consultation with military and medical experts. There's that word experts again. I have a great idea. Why don't you pound sand?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think they understand experts.
No. That word, you keep saying it.
Yes.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yes.
Gender dysphoria is a medical condition, otherwise known as a mental illness.
Yes.
Point 5. The new DOD policy eliminates special accommodations that were provided to persons with just gender dysphoria, but not to others. What? Okay, this one I actually want to read real fast.
All right.
First, the 2016 DOD policy allows individuals who were diagnosed with gender dysphoria and obtained hormone therapy or sex reassignment surgery to join the military in their preferred gender without a waiver if they were stable beforehand for at least 18 months. So you're admitting these people are unstable. However, individuals with other conditions who obtained similar treatments such as hormone therapy for low testosterone, a woman, could not join the military without a waiver. Oh, so they can join with a waiver.
With a waiver.
The 2018 DOD policy eliminates this disparity. Individuals who have undergone either hormone therapy or sex reassignment surgery for gender dysphoria will no longer be able to join the military without a waiver. Oh, so they backed it off a little bit for the actual dollar store Frankentrainies.
Yep. That, and we got a double pop going on there, Steve. You hit a button there with the camera.
The camera?
The camera.
I didn't touch nothing.
The camera likes you pop.
All right. What happened? That's weird.
I must have. Hang on.
Hang on. Just remove one and then just
No. I think I know what might be wrong. Yes. Camera. You must have done something to cause the camera to.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's your fault. It's always your fault, though.
Yeah, everything.
It is the ghost that haunts the lair.
Yeah,
we'll blame it on him.
This place is haunted.
That's entirely possible.
It is haunted.
That was weird.
It's okay. It happens.
That was weird. So
thanks for bringing that up, Jimmy. I don't want to sound stupid.
I just happened to catch it. I was like, "Where the fuck's the camera going?" And I was like,
"So you saw the camera move?"
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I caught. Yeah, the camera was moving. So
they're watching you, Terrence. Listen, I know this house. This house is haunted. It's nothing serious, but it is what it is.
That's funny. Not all transgender persons have gender dysphoria. I beg your pardon. And not all transgender persons choose to transition genders. That would be a crossdresser. But for those who have gender dysphoria and choose to transition genders, the 2016 policy allows them to serve in their preferred gender once their transition is complete. That takes years.
Yes. Takes 2 or 3 years.
Takes 2 or 3 years for them to basically turn themselves into a dollar store Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, an oozing poop wound.
I'm vomitous. I want to vomit.
I remember
I literally just want to go outside and go, ah! On the side.
Hang on. We got one of those for that. Right here.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. That is exactly what I felt like.
But all right. So they're already destroying the morale. They're going through all of this craziness. We're now seeing trans NCOs and commanders, which in my opinion is a travesty. But this doesn't happen in a vacuum. This was pushed down from up above.
Yes, these are all, by the way, WEF and WHO policies.
Correct.
This all emanates from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, this clown show goes all the way up to the highest in command of this country.
It does.
And it's even going to the WEF and what is it? The one global government that they want to push.
That is correct. Let's see here. We are starting to run-ish out of time.
Okay.
So I'm going to get a little pickier and choosier here.
Okay.
I think. Let's take an example and see what happens when somebody decides to transition, sort of.
Now, this individual this is from 2015.
Yes.
He had about 16 years in the service when he decided
as a staff sergeant.
Yeah.
Which tells you that he's a fuckbag.
Correct.
He, 4 years after allowing gay and lesbian troops to serve openly in the military, the Pentagon announced this week that it's considering its approach to transgender citizens who want to serve openly in the armed forces. So what you're seeing here is the very beginnings of what we just went through, the 2018 policies.
And look how fast it's happening.
Yep.
I mean, we had the gays getting married. What year was that when the first
2010.
one? 2010. Okay.
2009. I was living at your place.
Okay. 2009. And then you got this a few years later, but it's literally, it's not even a creep anymore. It's a full sprint.
Now, bear in mind that this is the United States government making these decisions, and it's a known Leviathan. It can take years for a bill to even get in front of Congress. They're making these decisions like this.
Correct.
That tells you that they're being told what to do.
Yeah, now listen, if there were any officers with any fucking integrity, they would have resigned and dropped their retirement packet as soon as this started coming down the pipe. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm retiring. Pound some sand. I'm out.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Once you get over 20, you have the magic card in your back pocket where if you get something stupid or you get an assignment to some shitbag place, you just pull it out and they're like, I'm done.
I'm done. Thank you. Thanks.
That's right. You can drop your packet whenever you want as soon as you get over 20 years in a day.
So this is where the rot really started for the dollar store Frankenstein set. The young man you see here who now goes by Patricia King. Sorry, kid, not calling you that. At a time when our troops have learned from experience that the most important qualification for service members should be whether they're able and willing to do their job, our officers and enlisted personnel are faced with certain rules that tell them the opposite. Defense Secretary Carter lied in a statement on Monday. And this is in 2015. Moreover, we have transgender soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I wouldn't want to be a transgender Marine with the Marines that I knew. You're not going to last very long.
It's not going to work out for you.
It's not going to work out. Real patriotic Americans who I know are being hurt by an outdated, confusing, and inconsistent approach that's contrary to our value of service and individual merit. Have you ever heard that Secretary of Defense Carter speak?
No.
He did not write that. I guarantee it. The guy is a dipshit.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is a brain dead dipshit. Somebody wrote that for him. This is their script.
So this guy probably retired in 2020, 2019.
Probably.
Because let's face it, you do 16 years in the Army and you're in E6, either
RCMP,
you're
baby.
you're gonna get drummed out.
Yeah. Ration control.
I think as an E6 you can make it to 20, but not much farther than that.
I knew an E4 that made it to 16. He was an air conditioner repair guy in our third shop.
And they went promoted to E5.
He was just a dipshit.
Oh, okay.
He was good at his job, but beyond that, nobody knew how he got into the Army. But he was a good fella.
Yeah. Well, I would have run top cover for that guy. I would have made sure he got to 20.
Find a way to, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd be like, you're getting promoted.
Yeah, just enough.
I've done that before. I've walked into some of the promotion boards, talked to the sergeant majors before my guy comes in. I'm like, hey, sergeant major, this dude fucking walks on water. He's got to get promoted. This is some horse shit. And they're like, we got you, sergeant.
We've all seen the guys that can't pass the board.
Yeah.
You get in front of a board and you're like, yes.
Yeah. My first board, I fucked it up. So it does happen.
I gave some really stupid answers on my first board as well.
Yeah.
But my staff sergeant board.
Do you want to know who was on my promotion board to E5?
Who's on your promotion?
Command Sergeant Major Leon Guerrera.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that dude's a legend.
Some legendary shit, right?
Legend. Dude's a legend.
You're supposed to maintain your military bearing the entire time on these boards, and they'll do shit to fuck with you.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
First sergeants just sit there with a pen and fucking around and writing.
Or they write notes that mean nothing.
Yeah. And you go over there after the board, and there's like smiley faces and tic-tac-toe games.
I actually was on a couple of promotion boards. I had one NCO come in and like literally goes, I fucked up reporting. Can I do it again? I'm like, yeah, do it again. And we forgot the whole thing. He started over and he did just fine.
My staff sergeant board got all the way to the end, and our company first sergeant looks at me and goes, Sergeant, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Total deadpan. And inside I'm going, but I managed to hold it together. I said, First Sergeant, what do you mean, First Sergeant? African or European? And the board went. We're good here, Sergeant.
Yeah, because
you're dismissed.
They
Nice.
do see how you handle pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, totally pulled that one off.
That's awesome.
I was dying inside though, dude. Where is this? What is going on? Why is all of this happening to us? Well,
here we go.
We're going to tell you why. Because people are getting...
Now, I don't know if the sound will come through, but the numbers show.
Money, yeah.
And so
I want you to watch. This is Nancy Pelosi in
1987. Net worth $160,000.
Ready?
Yep.
Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by.
How'd that happen?
So slowly.
I wouldn't do that with
Time goes by.
Yeah.
So slowly. Time goes by. So slowly. Time goes by. So slowly.
God. Yeah. And let's be honest. We've got many individuals in our government who've been there for decades, probably doing the exact same thing.
Biden's been in since 92, 93.
I don't even know. I don't know. He's been caught doing everything. I mean, there's even a diary out there claiming that he diddled his kids. And
His daughter wrote it.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it
daughter
happened. I'm
wrote
just
it.
saying there's a book out there that may or may not have got into the public purview that has a bunch of detrimental information. You should read it for yourselves.
This thing that is being done to our country, and you can see why right here with the video that we just watched. These politicians are all getting kickbacks. Don't pretend that there's a good politician out there.
Yes.
I actually know a couple of politicians. I've served with a couple of individuals that were good officers and are now politicians. And frankly, at this point, I can't even trust them any longer.
Yes. Well,
just because of what we're seeing.
now, when it comes to officers, if I did not serve with you and I don't know you personally, I am going to basically assume that you are either woefully adequate or incompetent, because most of the officers I ran into fit into that. They were adequate, barely, or basically incompetent. And it always seemed like the incompetent ones got promoted up the chain because they had a good attitude, which meant they kissed ass and sucked dick and all the other bullshit that they do.
I got very lucky and had 3 very good officers, 3 very good commanders in my time. But that was it. The rest of the officers that I knew were either just wet dishcloths,
Yes,
or outright incompetent shitbags. The favorite superior that I had, God bless his soul, he died in 2003 from cancer, so I can say his name, was Bill Clore, and he was a station chief for one of the alphabet agencies that I was attached to. Was the most decent man I've ever met in my life. He genuinely cared for everybody under his command.
yes.
And really took care of people. He was at baby showers. He was at weddings. He was like an uncle more than a superior of some sort.
That's good. That's good. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.